So, to all the fans of some of the old CW shows, and we're talking Supernatural and Smallville, we got some good pieces of news today. First thing, Tom Welling, while talking about a Smallville marathon, pops up and just drops, just like out of nowhere, just casually as whatever. Oh, and me and Michael Rosenbaum are also working on a Smallville animated series, sequel series. And I'm like, so you're just going to drop it like that? You're just going to drop it like it's hot and just keep it pushing? So that's very exciting. So for anyone who has enjoyed Smallville but does not read comic books, or if you're not aware, Smallville did continue for a couple seasons. I think it was like season 11, season 12, into the comic books where Clark is actually Superman. Now, I am curious, where is this series going to take place? Is it going to take place during those missing times from where the Smallville comic ended? Because the Smallville comic did introduce Wonder Woman, Batman, a few other characters because they were allowed to, because they had the comic rights. They just didn't have the production rights. That's why you never saw Batman, and instead you had Green Arrow and stuff like that, because they didn't have the rights to use everybody on a television show. So now, with this, the animated stuff, they actually may have more rights to do things. So, yeah, I'm very curious. I would like to see it where he goes from the farm having to come back to be Superman. I think that would be really cool. But I'll take however they want to do it, because there's a lot of interesting stories to tell with that particular character being Superman. So that's really fun news. I'm very interested where that goes. The second part is Jensen Ackles and Daniil Ackles and his production company, Chaos Machine, in association with Warner Brothers. They are actually producing a Supernatural prequel. Now, what's hilarious is I just got done talking to my friend a couple months ago, because when they mentioned it, he was like, yo, you literally just talked about this. They tried Wayward Sisters, which would have been a great idea. I don't know why they didn't. They also tried Bloodlines, which they handled Bloodlines kind of funny. But the Wayward Sisters, to me, was a great idea. But now, instead, I actually mentioned they should show the Winchester's parents and do a few seasons leading up to how everybody became everyone. So apparently this is told from the perspective of Dean, and the stories, and I guess he finds a journal or anything talking about his parents. And now, boom, they have a prequel series about Mary. I think his father's name was John. I think that's what the name. But how, and the catchphrase is how they fell in love and how they saved their love and saved the world. So we're going to see a different story. I think this is really a great idea. There are people who are hungry for Supernatural. I don't know if my mom knows yet, so I'm going to tell her, because, you know, she probably doesn't watch my videos like she thinks she, or wishes she did, but she don't. That's fine. But yeah, I'm going to tell her, and this is really exciting news overall. Just a Supernatural prequel series, which is great. That's more Supernatural. They could probably easily eke out another 5 to 10 years, depending on where they start to where they end. And the cool part is they could start them from teenagers up if they want to. If they want to bust out, like, let's say they want to do another 10 to 15 seasons, which I think they would. And this is going to give the Supernatural fans something else to consume. Supernatural in itself being a big franchise, there was like this little anime thing that was kind of recuts of the original series that was in cartoon form, or like the first season or whatever. Supernatural is huge. So it's smart and good that the CW, Warner Brothers, and them realized the potential of Supernatural and decided to continue with it in some way, shape, or form, which a prequel series is just fine, and it'll still give them enough time that if they want to do more, they could, which I still think they should have did Wayward Sisters, personally. But I also said I wouldn't mind seeing a prequel because there's a lot of monsters and things we could see from the past and see how they handled things in the past. And actually, there's enough stories in the past that they have stories for days if they don't want to keep pushing it forward. So, excellent job. Awesome news. I hope you're excited. Any of the CW fans that like Smallville, like myself. And if you haven't watched Smallville, this is where the Arrowverse and things came from. I will warn you now, once they get to the Media Freaks, which is like season like 3 and 4, that becomes a struggle. But from 5 on, it's a pretty strong show. And yeah. So, but you know, overall, I mean, if you got 10 seasons, and I only can say really bad things about maybe 2 of them that are kind of not the greatest seasons, I think that's a win in my book. This is the Geek Protagonist. You stay safe, you stay healthy, you stay real. Tell me what you think. Are you excited in these comments that we're getting a Smallville animated series and we're getting a Supernatural prequel series? All right, see ya.